My job is to make a creative which I think is selling the idea of what the film is about, and whether it is reached the concerned people, whether it's being liked by the concerned people, is something I won't be knowing. Mine and Anurag's thinking is very opposite direction in terms of his sensibility and mine doesn't match at all. I was nice to him about Gangs of Wasaipur and he just returning the favor maybe.
You're having a year coming on 12th as well, and Anurag Kashyap as well as Manoj Bajpayee. Manoj Bajpayee in fact has said that maybe it's his misfortune that Gopal Varma is not working with him anymore and Mahesh Bhatt is not working with him anymore. He has made a comeback of sorts with Gangs of Wasaipur, and the performance has been same with Anurag as well. How do you react when your people with whom you have worked in the past and they have such, I think, in many ways, glowing things to say about you?
I'm not very sure that it's a glowing thing. Most of the time they criticize me.
They used to, but I think in recent times, even I've read at least 2-3 interviews of Manoj Bajpayee.
Maybe that could be because I was nice to him about Gangs of Wasaipur and he just returning the favor maybe.
You like the film Gangs of Wasaipur?
Yeah.
You've seen both the parts?
No, I didn't see the second part. I saw the first part.
Okay, and what about Nawazuddin Siddiqui? Can we see?
But it's not about whether I want to work or not work. I think it's more to do with when I'm making a certain film, I will go to anybody who I think is right for the part.
But when you're making a Satya, Anurag Kashyap was an intrinsic part of the first part. So do we see any involvement of Anurag by any chance in terms of writing, or
not really. I think Anurag has already made a thing for himself, and mine and Anurag's thinking is very opposite direction in terms of his sensibility and mine doesn't match at all.
But there was a point of time that you guys worked and made quite
worked is see the point is
and he's still written additional dialogues for Talash.
He was writing in a certain sense that it depends upon the director's sensibility and what he wants, what the kind of way he sees it and all that, Now Anurag has grown to a point where if he's spending his time and his mental energy, he would like to have a point of his across, which might not be in the same sync with me. So that is the reason we won't be able to work together. At the time of Satya, because he didn't make a name for himself, he would still have to conform to what I require. Why should he do it now?
Coming back to Satya once again, what is the latest in that? We've been hearing all these reports that John Abraham was supposed to produce it, but now he's not producing it. And what exactly is the latest?
To start with Satya will take some time because I'm busy in 26/11. It's going to start only in maybe December or Jan, something like that. Because we're intending to release this picture 26/11 by Jan. And as far as who's involved and all that is concerned, there are some talks going on.
Okay, and John is part of it in any capacity? He is not?
Eventually there will be studio also. And since John is not acting in the film, so we rather thought we'll do something else later on. But that is something because I'm busy doing here and I'm busy, we're not even met also actually.
So how will you come up with something new? Because it's also being said that so much has been done on the mafia.
The point is the concept of Satya to us is in the year 2012 there's no such thing as Underworld. It's completely been wiped out by the Mumbai police. No new case has been registered on Dawood Ibrahim in the last 20 years. Chota Rajan is inoperative, ineffective, And of course, Abu Salam is in jail, Arun Gauli is in politics. But the point is, what conditions created the underworld whenever it was created in the late 60s, the disparity between the classes and the people not trusting the judiciary and the police. And they look for alternative methods of coercion or justice or whatever they perceive and problem solving. Those conditions exist even today. So there's no logical reason that why Underworld should not be there. But they withered away because they never had a plan, all the earlier dons. They went on reacting to a situation as it comes, and it reached a point where the police have outdone and they vanished. So Satya 2 is about a guy who comes in 2012 to Mumbai and he wants to reinvent the underworld. So obviously the conditions are different. You will have the knowledge of the earlier dons, how they operated and what went wrong with the various gangs. The policing methods are different. So it's like an entrepreneur coming to fill the vacuum. There's a vacuum right now in the underworld. And whenever there's a vacuum and if the business is lucrative, there'll always be an entrepreneur waiting to put his foot in.
Mr. Varma, do you realize that everything will be scrutinized with like really big time? Because anyways, it's being said that too many films have come up on mafia and Mumbai mafia and all that stuff. Maybe novelty value is somewhere. Department came and then Sonu Sood movie came as well, and that fell flat as well. And now Shura Wadala is coming, and A lot of hype is around that. So in that context, considering that Satya is an iconic film, people just swear by that film. I think it's like an albatross sword around you as well. हमेशा आपको पूछा जाता है कि अब अगली सत्या कब होगी and all that stuff as well. So when you're making a sequel to that, it will be a tough, it will be tall order for you. Like you'll have to come up with something which is really, really extraordinary.
That's what I think I have. That's the reason I'm making it.
Okay.
I think I have it. That's the reason I'm having it. I'm saying whether it is or not, of course, the film will tell you later. Yeah.
And what about the star cast? Have you thought about it?
It will be completely with newcomers. Absolutely. They won't even be on TV or anywhere.
There have been many of your films which have had great music and big names have been associated, like Rangila and A. Rahman has been there. Satya, there was Vishal Bharadwaj who had given the music, and Gulzar Saab had written the lyrics as well. Somewhere that's being said that maybe RGV is not cashing in on that aspect of what he did earlier. He should be having big names.
First of all, this
because Kallu Mama and all, it's as important to the, I think, narrative आपकी film Satya का, जो कि anything else apart from that.
See, to start with, the word cashing in on is something I never done in my career,
right,
and which I don't think I'll do. If either a film is working or not working. If it's not working, obviously you know the reasons. If it's working, also there will be obvious reasons. If Satya didn't work, I remember somebody telling me at that time, it won't work because nobody wants to see sweaty looking and bearded faces running in chawls without any production values in the film. But because it ran, then they thought any realistic film which touches your heart will work.
Sure.
So always there will be after the fact analysis. But in the beginning, not knowing the result of the film, I probably will have the same belief in every film, right? So now the point is whether something should have songs or whether you should have some whatever aspect people have liked so-called in my earlier films and all that. If Sarkar, I did not have songs, it worked. In Bhoot, I didn't have songs, it worked, Something else I might not have songs, it might not have worked. Something I had songs also, it wouldn't have worked. So I don't think none of them are a function of eventually the film working or not. The film will work for completely different reasons. Once it is liked, they will like the individual attributes. Now it's a very tall thing to say if Ajay Devgan and Urmila sang 4 duets in Bhoot, would that have been a bigger hit is a very hypothetical and speculative question.
So I'm sticking to the context of Satya.
So I'm saying,
Satya too.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to have because it's too early to tell the details of Satya too. This is the concept I have. I want to create a protagonist who comes in 2012 in a situation where there's no underworld. Now I'm traveling with him, which will be the course of the script. So what the script is, whether there will be songs, what will happen is little for me too early to tell that.
Mr. Varma, why I'm coming to the music once again is that you had like a comeback ishq, it's like became an anthem of the country, and somewhere department में भी आपके item songs है, लेकिन शायद वो बिल्कुल भी उस तरीके से शायद नहीं click हुए. I'm saying from that context, when do we see Gopal Varma working with the likes of A. Rahman and Vishal Bharadwaj?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Comeback Ishq also I believed it will be a big hit. Department song also I believed it will be a big hit. That became, this didn't become. You are talking about it after the fact. If I think it won't work, why would I put the song? That's my question to you.
My question to you will be that why is it that you're not maybe working with established name in terms of your music and your lyrics and all? I'm just, it is an intrinsic part of your earlier movies.
First of all, you have to understand this.
Established
names. See, that's what I'm saying. I never worked with established names in my career. Okay, listen to me.
Rahman was.
See, Rahman also first time. If you're aware of it. Okay, it's one. Anu Malik was a much bigger name at the time Rangila was made. The post Bazigar and all that. The biggest music directors was not Rahman in Bombay. When I worked with Sandeep Chaudhary and Mast and that, Sandeep Chaudhary is not the biggest name at the time. When I worked with Ajay Devgan in company, he was not the biggest star on the block, including Amir. Amir had 4 flops in a row before Rangila. Okay, they might be known, but they're not the biggest stars. That's the reason I could create a character where without the baggage of the image, what people will expect from this man, that man and all that. Today, I can't do a company with Ajay Devgan, for example. It looked ridiculous after the kind of films Ajay made, which are 100 crore films. So his fans will have an expectation from Ajay Devgan far more than what a company is. But company was made at a time in his phase of his career where there was no expectation. That's the reason they took him as a character of Malik and they enjoyed. But today, after Bol Bachchans and Golmals and whatever else the super hits he had, Singham, after Singham, if you see company, it will look like a boring film in the context of an Ajay Devgan fan.